Hello, class. It's Coach Jay, and I'm going to talk to you and address the questions you had about parents and parent involvement in sports. I didn't get messages from all of you, but I got enough that I think it's plenty to address and talk about um, because you will find that there's going to be plenty of times you'll interact with parents that you will be surprised by what the interaction is. You won't be totally sure how to manage it. Um, you may make a mistake a couple of times in trying to manage it and mitigate any kind of issues that might come up. Um, but I want to at least give you sort of a sense of some of the things that your own classmates have experienced and what they are curious about managing and handling, and then just give you some insight on a few things with parent management that might be helpful for you, because you all will to some degree have some parent interaction as you get up to sort of older level of athletes. That interaction could be less, but you might be surprised at how there's still quite a bit of parent influence at the even at the college level. So it's definitely something I've seen grow and change in my 10 years, my last 10 years of coaching, was how much more parents try to assert themselves and insert themselves into our, our team dynamics, coaching decisions, etc. I've seen some coaches get handled um, very poorly and be treated incredibly poorly by parents. I've literally watched it happen. And I've seen and I've read some letters that have been written to administrators from parents and to presidents of universities, to high school athletic directors, and and other types of administrators over sports that have been really quite critical of coaches. And so it will be there. It will definitely be there. A lot of the concerns are typically around playing time. No matter what the age, no matter what the circumstance, no matter how awesome you are, how good your team is, the majority of parent complaints and concerns are about their own child and how much they're playing. The others are typically health and safety issues, and where those concerns do rise, we have to be very aware of what the concerns are that are being expressed and really ask the question, are there concerns that we need to alleviate, and make sure that people have a better understanding of how we do things and how we manage our teams, and that we are doing what's best by the athletes that we are serving. So concerns about health and safety are legitimate for us to take a look at more carefully and ask ourselves if they need attention. Whereas questions about how you do things as a coach, playing time, um, in terms of playing time, strategy, etc., those are things that we have to figure out how we want to respond and deal with those. Um, and then some of the other things you're going to find that you might have to address is parent behavior, just general behavior at games, um, and whatnot. So those are kind of the areas I'm going to touch on, because those are actually sort of the big areas too that your questions revolved around. So I'm going to kind of ask in general these questions that were asked, and I did lump some together because they were similar enough, or at least I think we're getting to the same point. Um, and then at the end, if you don't feel like I answered your question specifically, or you have like a follow up to a question, please email me and ask me, or you can call me and ask me if you want to talk like voice to voice, to make sure that you're really getting like some questions answered there. But I'm happy to discuss anytime and help give you some confidence in how to manage parents, because in the end, the biggest thing is to just have some thick skin, because you're going to have parents judge you, criticize you, critique you, and that's not really ever going to go away. And so a lot of times you just literally have to hear what they're saying, but just kind of let it go. Again, unless they're really expressing some concerns about health and safety of athletes, then maybe You have to just listen and see what their concern is and make sure that you are actually addressing that, or there actually isn't a real viable concern that they are expressing. So this is just the intro to the answers to these questions. So watch the follow-up video to hear the responses to the actual scenarios or questions that you provided to me.